Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, welcome. Another crazy week in the market last week, so I hope you guys had a great week and you managed to come out positive from it. I resumed my positive week, so I had last week it was negative, the previous week it was negative. After almost 2 months of positive weeks, and this week I managed to stay positive, even though I didn't really trade it that much. Price, if you guys remember, last week, Saturday, when I do my weekly analysis, I predicted that price would somehow do some kind of compression throughout the week until Thursday, right? Until the CPI data day. And that's almost what happened in there. And with these ups and downs, it can be tricky to find opportunities. There were opportunities, but most of my trades were actually at most break-even setups. Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, welcome to the stream. If it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I usually do one on Saturdays and another one on Tuesdays. Today is weekly analysis. Tuesday is more educational content. Anything that you guys would like to discuss, any topic, feel free to ask and we can talk about it. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so yeah, crazy week. Last week we were somewhere in here, right? So, and the way it goes is usually I start with the dollar index, then I go through some indices, S&P and NASDAQ, then I go again through maybe the Euro index or GPY index, and then I go through the major FX, and then I finish with Ethereum and Bitcoin. So that's how it's going to be the stream. Feel free to ask any questions. We are here to discuss any levels for next week that maybe you guys are going to be paying attention to as well. We can talk about it. Maybe we can find good levels to trade for next week. So yeah, we were here, right? That was last Friday of previous week where we closed and we opened the week in here. And I did mention a few things that I was expecting on Monday, and they did occur. The price would kind of resume the move in the same direction as the previous Friday, which was the NFP day. And then my prediction for what happened last week, it was exactly that, right? So to pay attention to, I was expecting the index to carry on going higher, and I wanted to see this high being taken. So this was the high that I wanted to be seen taken, and the zone that I had, it was a little bit above it, so I was looking a little bit for price to go higher. However, I would be okay with just his high being taken by Thursday. And if that was the case, then price was already somewhere in here on Monday, Tuesday. I actually was expecting some kind of compression move. That's exactly what I was expecting. Price still going a little bit higher, creating new highs, but then doing some moves downside, hopefully starting to collect every single demand along the way, until eventually we could turn and go down, right? So this is exactly what happened during the week. It was maybe for some a little bit of a choppy moves, right, throughout the days. Maybe for others that maybe they managed to get that big short on the dollar on, was it Wednesday? On Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday morning during the day there was a big move to downside, and then all of a sudden that big reversal in the evening, right? That occurred. So maybe some of you're happy with the direction of the move, and all of a sudden 1 hour later, let's just recover those almost 150 pips. And this is what happens during the compression. So this can be one of the trickiest price moves to trade when price is approaching eventually a key level that can originate a big turn, right? Maybe money is being exchanged a lot within this level. A lot of tricky situations, because maybe you're looking to trade double tops. There you go, you got spiked out. Maybe you're looking for maybe trend ranges or like something like that, or for breakout strategies, and then price just reverses, creates a lot of lows, then another high, and so on and so forth. So we can imagine that many people may have got frustrated during this week. Looking at the compression that I was talking about, it's exactly that, right? I did mention this demand zone as well last week. It was one of the zones that I was looking for, one of the almost last demands that was still fresh. There was something in here where this will eventually created, and when this move was originated, we created a new demand in here, right? Especially after we broke this high. That's exactly what happened in there, right? So new demands being created. We had how this accumulation of lows, and this is around the CPI data, right? Price just moved completely to the downside. A big surprise on Thursday, it was how that movement that occurred kind of 1 hour before the CPI with the pound, mostly the strength on the pound pairs. Yeah, again, situation with the UK government, with the mini budget going back with the decision, or actually trying to make some new changes, whatever it's going on. It was madness that ended up with the minister losing his job. But yes, we saw that madness going on the pound just 1 hour before that, and then we had this move to downside in here on dollar index, and this was one of the reasons as well. Actually, the only trade I took on Thursday, it was I sold euro around the CPI data, so I caught the move to the downside, and this move, seeing the dollar index holding this demand zone, it was one of the reasons to give me extra confidence to look for the short on the euro. Aside from that, is because I still wanted to see this high being taken before the move to downside. So I was biased in looking for that long on the dollar, which would mean kind of the sell on the euro, and that's eventually what occurred, right? And all of a sudden we had the big reversal straight away. It makes sense for me as well where euro reacted from. We can go there in a bit. So yeah, we had it big move up on the dollar, and then the big reversal. The same in the indices, as you will see later on as well, as you have noticed. Apparently, this demand that I mentioned that I wanted to see being taken, it was still left behind during all this compression to the upside, and it looks like that's where price eventually has been reacting to at this point, right? And after that, yesterday's session, to be honest, I was a little bit busy in the morning. I didn't manage to find some key engulfs breakout structure that occurs, especially on the euro. And I got caught actually kind of chasing price, which is a terrible situation to be in. Just leads to frustration. Even if you don't open trades, it's just kind of, if price goes up, you just are following price. If price goes down, you're just following price to the downside, looking for opportunities. And all because I didn't really pay attention to some specific breaks of structure that help us to be a few steps ahead of the market, and then anticipate all the rest of the moves. If you don't pay attention to those details, you're just going to end up chasing the price into a terrible situation to be in. It can lead to a lot of mistakes or just frustration itself. Yeah, that was kind of my trading day yesterday. So looking now at the dollar and noticing that we never managed to break this demand zone, and we actually even this low in here, this second low that was created, still stayed above this low. So because that happened, I'm not 100% sure if you are going to see price selling from here, or if you actually are going to go a little bit upwards and finally react from this level in here. So I could see the scenario where price, we have all these left shoulders, so I want to see how price is going to behave somewhere in here. But I wouldn't be surprised if before the final turn, if we actually still create a new high and we actually get now closer to this, closer to that level. But if price by any chance had already kind of reacted to this level and then I'd made this move to downside, I think price will just it would have just continue. At least managed to break a new low in there, maybe retrace, and now go down. At this point, we never managed to break and we have this second new low created. So we just have this, created this low, price retraced, respected the low, and now it's maybe going upside. I would have liked to see this low, this second low, breaking this one on the left side in here, to give a little bit more of indication that actually price wants to go to the downside afterwards. So yeah, on dollar, this one is still fresh and price can go there. That's one of my views and something that I'll be aware of. We do have all these left shoulders in here, which is okay. Price can literally still eventually go there, but this supply level in there, even with this left shoulder in here, price didn't really touch it. So not even the base of this level, not even in here, price touch it. And because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if we do have that final fake out. Even if you look at the daily, it makes sense where price reacted from. It was one of the zones that I mentioned, which is exactly this week in here. So I'm a big fan of wicks. And yeah, price just reacted from there. It never really reacted from that level, even on the daily. As you can see, we have those left shoulders in there. So I could see the scenario where price still goes up in here. Maybe this can be already considered as an engulf down in there on this daily chart, and price may go now and then resume to the downside. So I could see something like that to happen on the dollar. Yeah, I think I could see something like that. You can try to investigate if there's any orders, anything in particular within these highs, to try to see if there's anything in there that can actually make price go to the downside. Something in here, which maybe there is. Let's see on the war time frame. You have this SR zone in there and maybe a little bit above that level. So this high never really got there. So maybe there's something in there that price can go to. Still aligned with these left shoulders in there. We can even take a look at that high that we just fake out on the left side. This one in here. So you can even draw something in there just to keep an eye on. This can be used as well as a zone to look for shorts eventually. So yeah, maybe some reaction in there could be possible. Create kind of a double top in there for price eventually to take that move, to take this high and then maybe reverse. On the way down, it was actually quite, there you go, right? So yesterday in here there would have been a great entry somewhere in there. Yeah, this was a big miss. The same on the euro, and the engulf that I didn't mention, that I didn't notice on the euro, it was something in there. That this high had engulfed something on the left side, price then retraced really fast and then just resumed. If by not paying attention to that engulf there on the euro, it was to the downside. I was just kind of changing price. When I saw this strong move, I was even maybe thinking that price would break, and then all of a sudden price is reversing, and yeah, looking like it was literally a nonsense, which kind of happen if you don't pay attention to the key levels and if you're just following price. Yeah, so nice demand in there, nice reaction from that level that we mentioned about last week, and price until now, the way it's moving away from this level is respecting the extremes and respecting the demands, and now going up. This was another one, it's taken, there's maybe some compression there. Let's see if we have any major break in here and you create maybe some kind of liquidity, maybe that will be maybe the only scenario where I'm still looking for sales in there. If price by any chance just continues to move in this kind of compression way, I wouldn't be looking for sales in there. I would be waiting for price eventually to do something like this, and then and then yes, to turn and use maybe this left shoulder now in here as a potential zone to look for the sell, for a secondary entry, hopefully, if I manage to catch the first here with a high. So yeah, this could be one of the scenarios. If price just continues to move like this to the upside, maybe that's how it's going to open on Monday. We'll see. The other scenario is if by any chance price actually pauses in here, kind of start showing indication that actually wants to go down, but it may just do that final fake out above this high in here, somewhere inside here. And yeah, this is maybe the other way that I will be looking for sales inside here. Otherwise, I'll just be waiting. I'll just be waiting for that. So I want to see something like that to happen. Let's see. Yeah, just a note that maybe you guys are getting some buffering. I'm not sure. Maybe my internet connection. Something's going on. I'm not sure. Let me know if everything is okay in the comments. Yeah. So dollar index. That's I think what I'll be looking for. First to maybe go a little bit higher in there, and still fake out this high and fake out this level in there. Yeah, that's what I'll be looking for. And eventually, because price literally just took what for me was one of the last demand zones in there. If price is actually about to turn, I wouldn't. Yeah, because price just literally took this last demand from there. If we are about to turn, I wouldn't be surprised if now we are ready to eventually fill out that space until at least this low at 110, somewhere in there, or even the potential to go and create new levels. I'm buffering a lot. Yeah. Yep. Maybe going all the way until here. Eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if the dollar index is about to do that, because we have taken all the demands along the way, and that will mean the dollar to be a weaker dollar, maybe stronger euro and pound and so on. We will see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, moving on to the S&P. I can remove some of these lines. The compression is not like this. The compression was until somewhere in there, I believe. Yeah, something interesting on the S&P, right? That big reversal, and now this big the reaction here. It was the analysis of actually a chart that I drew back in January of S&P. The first time we broke below this wall, right? This was, when was this? End of January this year. So I drew this this chart in here, right? So this was my prediction, and just as an example of how compressions work, right? So in theory, right, if you break into one compression, you kind of should expect eventually price to get to the other extreme of it, right? So it just broke below this level, line, this low that was holding it, and almost every single demand has been taken on the way down, on the way up, sorry, and now price is free to fill the next line. Eventually price is going to make a decision. It's going to either respect this extreme, if it's going to break into it, and if it just break a little bit, then eventually price will go again and now maybe react to the next level, which would be this next demand zone. And in here again, new decision to be made. Either price breaks into it. If price breaks into it, eventually it's going to go all the way down and fill this compression zone that was in there. And that's exactly how S&P actually has been moving. Of course, it's been creating new highs and lows in here and so on and so forth. But anytime it has been broken into this compression to the downside, expecting price to at least fill there. Then there was a little bit of respected about somewhere in here, just broke into it, and there you go, expecting price to go to downside. That's what you should have been expecting, especially during that retrace from June, July, in middle of August until we find a return, when you had that around 50 to 55% retracement. That's why I was still bearish, to be honest. One of the reasons, aside from all the macroeconomic conditions that we are in, it was technically, looking at the chart, I wanted to see price going until this extreme of the other compression. And what you usually have is, if this is a higher time frame level as well, after we break into this zone, a higher time frame level, usually we actually have a good retracement. So there's going to be some kind of demand somewhere in there that can literally just push price to the upside and have that reaction. And this is exactly what happened during the CPI data. Price finally, with a big gap during CPI, it completed this compression zone, just went a little bit below it, and then we had that reacting from some demand in there, and price just retraced to the upside. And now it's reacting from the new supply that is visible. This high from COVID, it's not really one of the normal maybe kind of targets that we could look for any short, and maybe some reaction from here could be expected. So we then actually have all these double lows, like this low with that one, which may be already a reaction from this one. Even looking for something underneath that could be eventually expected to see price reacting from. We do have some kind of demand still in here, so expecting some reaction from there would be another option. We do have some kind of SR zones in there aligned with this level. But yeah, so this is how S&P actually has been moving, and if you are aware of these compression zones, you can actually start making some good predictions for the future, right? So this is actually how price has been moving. If you're about to, 1 second, it's too much. I don't want it before, it's actually a better chart. I'm going to do this on the S&P, on the trading view. Yeah, right. So we do have this design towards that. Price goes there, if it breaks through, goes, respects the next level, and then just goes down. We almost feel this compression in here within this demand. That's where it reacted in there. Then it broke into the next one just underneath this level. Yeah, it broke it with this small detail in there. So expecting price to go down. It was another situation. And then to kind of to feel out that compression from maybe somewhere in there to here. And that's it, right? Now from somewhere in there, there was some kind of demand. And I could still see price continue to go down, and at least going until this level in there, right? So price just touched it, reversed, next level supply level, that was previous level support resistance as well, and price is free to, price has been moving down yesterday, right? So let's see if this low is going to be the new low for the next few weeks, or if by any chance next week we are going to already break this level of create a new low into here. So nice reaction from this supply level in here, which is also aligned with this all these highs in here, right? So natural zones to expect. We had all this compression, These highs never got to this supply. So after price turns, even create a new low, it's a natural zone to react from. Now let's see how price is going to behave somewhere around this level. It's going to be some kind of reaction or not. At this point, I don't see this one as being an engulf to the upside, so I wouldn't even be surprised if we continue to create new lows from here. If by any chance we had broken a little bit higher, then maybe this level could be interesting to look for those longs, to expecting price to go higher. This high was never broken. Eventually this level in here could be interesting as well in the future whenever S&P wants to go higher again. This level, which is in alignment with this previous level of support resistance, it can be quite interesting to look for another sell in there. How big the target is going to be at this point, it's going to depend where this low is reacting from, and as well the approach, how price is going to be approaching this level. That's going to help as well in terms of targets. So yeah, this is what happened. It was expected to move to downside when it had that CPI higher than expected. What maybe no one was expecting was the reversal. Looking at the price itself, for me it actually makes sense, because we literally just completed that compression zone that I had drawn on the previous chart, and after that it's yeah, anytime you enter into a new level, into a new zone, it's okay to have some kind of retracement for price maybe to collect some orders until then it continues to move into the same direction. Oh yeah, that was S&P in there. Looking for a continuation to downside. There's even a chance that price could even fake out a little bit this high and still be part of this level. So price at this point touched the base of it. Maybe the extreme is still, there's maybe still some orders just at the extreme zone in there. But let's see. Let's see how price is going to open on Monday, and if you're going to resume and they have new lows being created. Yeah, NASDAQ. NASDAQ a little bit similar but different. Similar moves, just different levels where it has been reacting, right? So S&P is reacting from this level. Neither NASDAQ or S&P broke this high, so that's okay. However, by looking at this S&P, at this NASDAQ one, it looks like there's maybe an engulf up without price reaching the next level. So this may be considered as an engulf up. However, on S&P, price actually may have reached straight away the next level. So, and this is where different dynamics appear, even in such correlated assets like S&P and NASDAQ. However, maybe have these situations where one is reacting from a normal level that kind of be respected, and the other one it's not. S&P, NASDAQ, sorry, is reacting from, it actually touched this small demand in there, in here. So yeah, just below those lows. I think you guys can see it, but let me try to zoom in a little bit. So that this small zone in there, it's actually where price is reacted from, and we had all these lows that price just faked. Yeah, they were there to be faked out. So it was a nice zone as well to expect some kind of reaction. We are looking at the daily chart, so yeah, expect some proper good reaction from that level without these lows in there. Eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if you do even take these lows in here and we go a little bit lower. So this level in here is something that I'll be looking at, paying attention as well, maybe expecting some kind of reaction from somewhere in here, which would be 9,800. So that would be already below the 10k. There's maybe this kind of level support resistance around the 10k. I don't know how strong people are going to be looking at the 10k, like in the market, thinking that it's going to be a key important level of, in this case, support for the S&P, for the NASDAQ. So yeah, 10k on NASDAQ may be important. we do have this level of support resistance in there, so this high, this low. Yeah, so price reacted from there. I could see price going below these lows and maybe reacting from something in there. Hey Faden, how are you, man? Kalimera, man. Kalimera. Are you regretting closing your euro sell so early, man? Yes. Yeah, price going below this lows, it'd be interesting to see on NASDAQ. Of course, again, that high from COVID, for sure that it's going to be a good target to look at. So let's see what's going to happen in there when price eventually gets there, right? So even from what happened, like the CPI data coming out, there wouldn't be that many reasons for the indices to kind of go up. However, if you guys remember, it was around mid-June when we had one of the highest CPI data that like 1.1 or something like that. It was super high and the market was not even expecting. I think it was the CPI data around the 13th or 14th of June, and what happened after that is actually that we had this rally. So apparently there's a negative surprise on the CPI data managed to bring all these bullish retrace in the indices. So let's see what's going to happen as well. What also helped all this move, it was the not so bad earnings, or actually kind of some robust earnings in the US and Q2. So, and those earnings are actually starting to come to be released now as well for the Q3. I think yesterday it started with some major banks. I haven't read anything about it. However, we're going to have for the indices, the earnings season is on, so maybe that can also influence a little bit. How the indices are going to behave, right? But yes, if you notice, in June, I think we had a really bad CPI data, and all of a sudden you have 2 months of a deep retrace. Not expecting that now, and maybe the earnings are going to be different, going to be some more weakness and struggling in US companies, but let's see. Hi Tiago, are you Portuguese? Welcome to the channel, man. Trading Box, how are you, man? Yeah, the dollar yen, right? There's no stop on dollar yen. There's absolutely non-stop. I did try to look for some sells during the week. It was just a break-even trade. There's my counter trend trader mindset that I was looking for some reversals. I tried, I was a little bit in profit. Price never broke some demand that I wanted to see being broken. I just moved it to break even, and of course break even and price just would have taken my stop loss. So it was actually, I managed correctly to trade. És português? Boa, man. Bem-vindo ao canal. Deve ser a primeira vez que estou a falar português aqui. Welcome. Trading Box. Yeah, man. Last week someone, I don't remember now the name of the guy that was talking with me during the stream, and he mentioned Trading Box, and all of a sudden I thought it was you, Faden, but then I remember, no, it's the other Trading Box. So yeah, both of you guys have the same name online at least. So yeah, I kind of yeah, thought it was the other person. Oh yeah, but funny things. Yeah, dollar yen. From now on, I need to do my analysis on TradingView, because on MT4 I don't have any more data. I think I started to look at what levels I like in the where prices may be reacting now. I'll share it in a bit. So yeah. So yeah, NASDAQ, let's see what's going to happen in here. If price is going to continue to go down, for sure. For example, this level, I think it's quite nice. Somewhere in there, I think can be interesting. Below these walls, somewhere in here, I think could be something to pay attention to. And I think I mentioned already this part on the S&P. I like the demand that maybe we have here. Let me delete this. I may like the demand that we have in here. However, in terms of the support resistance zone to trade this high from COVID, is that this little candle in here, the spike in there, it literally took the orders that maybe they were in there. So this may make the zone a little bit weaker than if it wasn't touched. Let's pretend that this candle doesn't exist. Price literally just creates all this. There is no any candle below this this green line that I just drew, right? If that was the case, there will be kind of enough liquidity, and now price most likely there's some kind of demand in there, and it will be a beautiful zone to look for a long whenever price now goes there. However, this small touch in there, this spike in here, or whatever the reaction it was, it may have taken some orders that were in alignment with this support resistance in there. So yeah, question mark in there. Is this level still strong or not? Or maybe price will just go a little bit underneath it. On the other hand, maybe now the level, instead of being in there, is maybe now it is at this demand zone. So yeah, this actually could have been an amazing trade to catch it on the way up. Just a touch at the support resistance in there, this would have been maybe a massive trade to take it, then close your charts and come back. Yeah, come back 1 year later and close the trade at the highs. Be the ideal, right? Yeah, so that's NASDAQ. DAX, let's just take a look at DAX. Recently I've been looking at DAX as well. Oh, nice reaction. 1 second. Okay. I have this supply level that was around the CPI data. I had these lines in here. Yeah, price touch it, and what a beautiful. This is a nice KM in there. Nice origin that was fresh behind. We have this KM in there. This is one of the best setups actually to look at. Maybe you see our price breaks a low even before it gets to the extreme of the level, and this low opens space for price to go down, and price just then spikes it, goes there. It's actually really nice behavior all around. Actually, DAX has been kind of moving quite nicely. I can delete this one. Actually, I can bring this one there. I don't really trade DAX. I just started to analyze it recently. Someone asked me about it, so I'm going to just keep giving these small updates on it. And eventually, higher time frame level, I would still like to see price going a little bit further down, maybe closer to this level. You thought you were doing Portuguese trading? Nah, man. Even though I don't really talk with many Portuguese, even any. Most people in Portugal are afraid of the markets. Yeah, either that or they are maybe a lot of scamming going on in there, right? So yeah. Most traders are from US, UK, yeah, maybe. We'll see. I think nowadays there's maybe a lot of traders everywhere, even from Africa as well. I think I've been a lot of countries in Africa. The community in there, I think, has been growing a lot with the trading within the trading world. So yeah, which is nice. It is nice to see. Yeah, as long as people manage to stay away from everyone that is scamming everyone and so on and so forth, right? Yeah. So let's just take a look at this dollar index, at this yen index, which finally is reacting from the demand zone. This low in here was created. This big move in here was created during when the Bank of Japan intervened, right? End of September. We had that big move up. Yeah, price reach. it may have reached its target in here within this level of support resistance. So maybe that was the target. Whatever then. Maybe that was the target for this move up. Yeah, I don't really know if there's an engulfing there. In terms of expecting price now to go higher from here. We had a little bit of that level. Price went up and then it reacted from this level of support resistance, even aligned with that level as well. It was a key zone to look for. So I'm not sure if that's an engulf up, which means that there's a higher chance that we're actually going to create a new low from here instead of looking for the reversal. Now we are this yen pair, especially dollar yen, right, is trading at the levels that I don't know for how long the Bank of Japan is going to continue to not do anything. There were some comments during this week where it's just following what's going on, but without taking any actions. So when it reached 145, they decided to intervene. At this point, price is already 147 or something like that, or 148, and let's see when it's going to be the next time, right? So how this move on the dollar yen, if you guys have been following dollar yen, which has been a nightmare, just going up, and all of a sudden a big spike down, take the demand, and then a spike up again, and there you go, it resumes the move to the upside. I will not be trading dollar yen anytime soon. Maybe the other yen pairs, but not dollar yen. Yeah, let's see how price is going to behave from this level. In theory, if you see this move to the upside, in theory it will mean that the yen pairs would go down. That's what this does, this yen index. Yeah, this one was taken already in there. So let's see how price behaves from here. We may have broken a little bit at level. We are compressing for sure. You can see how this rejection, price compressing down. In reality, there's no engulf actually, because price actually never broke this level. It looks like it's an engulf in there, but price never broke. Price never broke this actually. Just respected it. So yeah, waiting to see if price actually breaks something else before even looking to go higher. So let's see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, DAX was amazing, man. I didn't. So you like to trade DAX as well, right? I didn't know that you were into DAX. Maybe we can start. We need to start helping each other, Faden. We need to start separating. You look at these pairs. I look at the other ones, and that's it. I think that will be a good teamwork. To do. Yeah, the DAX would have been amazing from there. Yep, indeed. Yeah, Euro index. Yeah, it was another crazy moves in here. Like the spike in there, it was CPI data. I think it respected this level. Yeah. It's not as clear at this moment. I don't really like these reactions from the middle of the zone. What I see still is this one that for me it's an engulf to the upside. Eventually I could see price going there. Nevertheless, there's maybe something in here that price can still respect. So let's see what this euro index is going to do, and which direction is the euro pairs going to. We have seen some strength on euro yen, euro Aussie doesn't stop. It's just moving in a straight line to the upside these last few weeks. Euro dollar has been kind of up and down, as you know. Yeah, all this looks a little bit compressed in there. This supply level maybe have been taken by this, so I'm not sure how many more orders are within this level. Yeah, so yeah, not really sure. Yeah, let's take a look at major FX. Let's stop with this. I live in Manchester, in the UK. I've been here like for vast. It's actually today or tomorrow. It's 7 years since I moved to the UK. I think it was 15 of October 2015. or it was 16th of October. No, I don't remember. It was one of these two dates. So yeah, 7 years. Jesus, time flies. But yes, I am. My house in Portugal, my parents' house, is not Lisbon. Is in the other side of the bridge. Like it's na costa, perto da costa, Correios, mais ou menos. Yeah, I live 5 minutes away from Costa de Caparica. Yeah. What about you, man? Where are you from, Tiago? Yeah, man. Jesus, 7 years since I moved to the UK. Crazy. Yeah. Euro dollar. Yep. So we had all this compression during the week, as we have talked about. This for me was a nice reaction from this zone, and for me, I saw this one as an engulf down, and that's why I was also still looking for shorts, and that's why I was looking for the short during the CPI data. I managed to catch it somewhere in there, and I closed it somewhere in here. In terms of target, the target why I mentioned that actually I liked it, or the reaction from these lows, it's not visible in this one. Is this small wick in here? There's actually a nice zone in there, just below this one. Again, I like wicks, and price just literally touched it, and it just reversed. Yeah, the zone in here, it was from there. That's why I also liked it. Yeah. Now, this level has been respected. To be honest, I was looking a little bit more for price to now fake out these highs and go there. However, this level has been respected so far. Actually, there's another zone in there, exactly where the euro has been reacting. Yesterday move that I mentioned that I completely missed it because I had a busy morning and I was not really focused. It was this one, right? We had this clear engulf down. We can even look at this one and this time frame. There was, I think, if you go into the war time frame, you can see it. Come on. Yeah, there was this small engulf to downside, and as you can see this week as well, it was fresh, and we had this double top in there. This naturally it would have been one of my favorite. I would have set up 10 alarms in there and wait for price to go there, because I didn't notice this one. Actually, when I noticed was price was starting to move down, and actually the move was actually quite strong as well to the upside. Usually what you see when this happens is as price is approaching the level, price is compressing a little bit. In this case, it just compressed on exactly in here, these last few moves. But usually what you want to see, or what happens, is there is a little bit more of weakness on price on the way up. In this case, it was everything too fast, and because I didn't pay attention to the, again, as you can see, the small engulf down of this demand zone, this literally for me would have meant that price would go, at least will try to go below, further down, maybe somewhere in there or whatever, but at least would make me be biased to look for shorts at these highs, which, because I didn't notice, I was not even aware of that, and I was just changing price. And after that, I actually noticed this level as a good reaction, potential good reaction to sell, but yeah, I struggle a little bit to find some opportunities in a little bit more in the middle. Again, the move up and then compression. Yeah, it's something that maybe I need to work on a little bit more. Yeah, you are looking for. You are looking before. Sorry, euro down. Yeah, I think euro is going to continue to go down. I still like this. I don't think these lows had reached this final zone. And you like the 9663. Is this 9663? Is something in here, right? Must be something in there. 9663, something in here. Yeah. yeah, that's a level that I'll be looking for. Everything looks compressed in here. I'm not sure if in here there's something. But on the other hand, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the dollar index. If by any chance I'm expecting the high on the dollar index to still be faked out, that may still happen as well on this low on the euro. Maybe a little bit deep into something in there that maybe could still fake out this low and then maybe move to the upside. So I will have that kind of a question mark on looking for buys in here, just the same way that I'm not sure if that high that was created on the dollar index is going to hold, or prices actually wants to go a little bit further down and react from something more inside there. You are from Porto. Nice, man. No, it was not exact. No, it was not because of trading. It was actually some personal reasons. I moved in. In the moment, it was kind of ex-girlfriend that was coming here to study. That was one of the reasons I moved to Manchester. And then I just enjoyed it. I always wanted to live abroad, to be honest. Then I just stayed. It's a nice city. It's a really nice city. So euro dollar. Yeah, something in there. Yeah, maybe something. Let's see. It's a little bit tricky at this point. We didn't broke these highs. I would like to see the highs being taken to the upside. We have all this range in here. This can be kind of a KM zone, right? We have all these left shoulders in there. Price could do something in there. So I would for sure be paying attention to what's going to happen in here. I'm expecting more moves to the downside on the euro. I don't know if some reaction from there and then price just moves down, or if price. But eventually, I could see price going a little bit further down. Maybe reacting from something like in here could be a little bit more of an option. We already took this low, which is something that I like to see being taken. I like to see, like after big moves, I like to see this low in here. There's always a specific low in there, and when price is when price creates the low, when it retraces, the first that retracement, usually there's some kind of low that's going to be taken before any major continuation move to the upside, and that has already been taken. And sometimes you just take that low and you don't even react from the kind of next month. It's just something in the middle where price pauses and then goes. So yeah. So let's see what's going to happen on the euro. I had a better bias last week, to be honest, comparing with this week. This week I will need to see how price opens and to play with whatever new price action we're going to have throughout the week. Last week I had a much better bias of actually wanted the compression to see the high being taken on the dollar index, and everything else then would play out with the rest pairs. Yeah. Thank you, Tiago. Welcome. Yeah, man. One day maybe you can arrange. Manchester is it's a nice city. It's full. Come on, with these two teams in here, it's a lot of football, but it's not just football. There's a lot of events, a lot of culture, a lot of music. There's a lot of stuff going on in Manchester. Yeah. Since I moved to Manchester, for example, that's when like Mourinho came in, Bernardo, like Diaz, like all those Portuguese players, Bruno, and so on and so forth. Like all of them, they moved in here as well. That's funny. Now it's a city full of Portuguese people. Yeah, thank you, Tiago. That's cool, mate. 9574. They follow me. Yeah, I used to make that joke. I used to make that joke. 95. 9574 999. That's upwards. Yeah, 999, I like it as well, right? If by any chance price goes back to this level, I do like it, Faden. 9574. Yep. Yeah, something in here. 957. Yeah. Yep, something in there. I like it as well. So yeah, and that's what I prefer as well, right? To look at the extremes, kind of wait for price to go there. Maybe sometimes you can create some extremes within this range, like we just did it in here. Sometimes you can play these ones, but for sure that looking at these extremes, that's the kind of setups that I like the most as well. However, we need to be patient a lot until price goes there. But yeah, for now I will definitely need to see. Yeah, I'll get those 400 pips. Yeah, let's take a look at the pounds. Yeah, pound was another one, right? If you guys remember what I think I talked about, that was the stream, that exercise of dividing pricing into zones, right? And it actually played out exactly as mentioned. That I was expecting price eventually to fill out this range towards to these lows. In here, would make a decision to either respect or break it. If it breaks it, and if it just stops in the middle, like it did in here, that because we actually had a small zone in there. It's not really visible on this 1 hour or 4 hour time frame, but if you go down, you can see a little demand in there. But if price will just stop in the middle, that for me would still be an engulf to downside, and expecting then the price eventually to touch this top of the zone. And that's what happened, right? Price broke it. That was Tuesday, and then we had that big drop on Tuesday evening. And where to? We just reacted from this fresh level that was still there, and there you go. Price reacted now from the base of this, and it moved all the way to the upside. And personally, on this pound, I will still like to price actually to have taken this high, which didn't. It just respected it, which makes it a little bit trickier. There's maybe something in here that you can maybe look for price to go. This actually would have been a great entry. Of course, Asian session once more. After we broke this this low, this would have been a great entry in there. All of a sudden, we had a lot of choppy moves yesterday on the pound as well. Yeah, maybe looking for something in there can be an option. Eventually, you can even go a little bit further down and maybe look for something in there as well. Let's see, because we didn't really broke this high, which I would have liked to see that happen, to get a little bit closer to this level to look maybe for a sell. On the other hand, I could still see price now that reacted from the SR zone. Now maybe the next one is going to be this demand, and you can use this low as liquidity to go collect the orders from that demand zone, and eventually you can even carry on, continue to look for another levels a little bit underneath. So yeah, this is kind of for pound. It's maybe in here that I'll be looking for. I'm not sure if I'll be looking for anything until price gets there. I think this may have been taken already. It was actually a really nice zone. And it's something that we see, this kind of pattern. It's actually something that we see happening quite often. This kind of SR, the breakout strategies. This is one of that I like. It's actually small demand in there. We have these lows. The momentum was to go higher, and yeah, then the big move just before the CPI, and then with the CPI just move to the downside. Now there's maybe, is there any demand in there that price can touch? There's maybe something in there below these lows that may attract price. Otherwise, eventually you can go closer to this level. Is this one being taken? And we have this demand in there. as you can see, on the way down, it's literally everything has been spiked. Everything has been taken, so we have this strong compression in there. Eventually we can turn. If not sure if anything's going to hold pricing here. Maybe this one, the extreme of this one, can still hold price. Otherwise, I think we are kind of just free to move higher whenever we eventually turn to the upside. So you are looking at 103, 10, 23, and you are working within these walls. Yeah, no. I need to start doing this. Jesus, this takes a lot of time. 10.23. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to hold. 35. Yeah, I don't like all these walls. I could see price. I may like this demand zone, but aside from this, I'm not a big fan of this. But I do like this demand zone. In there, 46. Otherwise, I'll go just below that level, and I'll go for 10.99. Yeah, 0.96. 96.95. Yeah, this 96.95. Yeah, just with pay. I could see definitely a reaction in here. Price going down, maybe even react from there, but I could see we have this double low and price never took this demand. Let me just see if in the higher time frame there's something in there. Yeah, this one is kind of obvious in there, right? I do like it. I like it a lot. I think there was a small similar zone like that a few weeks ago on the pound. That pound in there also it reacted for a while. I don't know if it was this one. There was some kind of still reaction just below some lows. Price still reacted from there and then went up a little bit. Yeah, for some reaction we can see it. I like this level for sure. And I'll actually set up an alert already to look for price to go there. Yeah, some reaction. I could see it, and I'll be looking at it. Yeah, now this is just nonsense, right? I don't like at all any behavior that has been going on in there. The price action that is going on. We can delete this. I don't know how I have this trend in there. Yeah, this level or then that level, and maybe something underneath it. I don't even know if this extreme has been taken yet. Below this wall, I'm not sure if this wall had actually reacted from the extreme in there. I think it paused before that. It may have just touched this level, but never really reacted from there. So yeah, maybe even in the case that price actually wants to go all the way down. Yeah, and this high, this is the high that price never took it. It took this one, but it interacted from that small KM zone in there. Jesus. Yeah, that's yeah, indeed, right? That's the problem. Sometimes price looks like it's reacting from nothing, but then in the lower time frame, if not in the lower time frame, sometimes as well what you see is, as you know, right, on the left side there's maybe a key zone that maybe didn't pay attention to, that maybe should have been respected and it wasn't, and so on and so forth. Yeah, on the end is reacting from this high, so it already reversed 100% after all this move created during the mini budget, like 2 weeks ago, something like that, or 3 weeks ago, and is getting once again close to the extreme, to these highs. So let's see what's going to happen when price gets there. As you can see, pound yen is one pair that can range a lot, but in a really strong way, big moves. Again, this high that we created, price just filled the space. For example, as I mentioned before, on the pound dollar, we had kind of the same separation. However, pound dollar actually managed to break below, went up, and now kind of retested the next level. Pound yen never broke this level, that this rectangle in here never broke this zone. It actually reacted from the extreme of it, and after that it just moved higher. And if price doesn't break below this level, looking for sells in here, it's not maybe the best idea. Most likely price is already telling you by not breaking this level that most likely it wants to just continue and create new highs from here. It respected the extreme, so don't need to fight it in here. Even though there's maybe some reaction from there still, but expecting price to go all the way back down, it's not the best idea. It actually, there was maybe, yeah, still maybe reacted somewhere in there in the extreme. The only thing it does is just reacts from the next level until it continues to go to the next zone, which is now this extreme in here. So yeah, let's see how price is going to behave in there, if it's going to break or not. Yeah, this already reacted from there with that big spike. Not sure if there's anything in there, or if eventually going to create new higher highs. I do have this zone in here, I just now realized it. And we have all these highs in here. So eventually we're going to fake out those highs, and let's see until where we are going to. Yeah, interesting to see the different behavior on the pound and the pound yen. They've been moving quite similarly. However, one respected the level, the other one actually broke it, but they then eventually reached the next level. So yeah, interesting pair in there. Euro pound was another one, right? Strong move to the downside. I had mentioned as well that zone. That price had reacted from here. This was a natural target, but then after that, all this was compressed, and this was the extreme of compression. And that's exactly until where price went to. The extreme of that compression in there, higher time frame, I think you can see it. Or something like that. And there you go. Price just dropped, reacting from a new demand zone, but eventually maybe we are going to continue to see Euro pound continue to move down. This is already an engulf down. Eventually maybe they are going to continue to see Euro pound going down, maybe reacting from here, and maybe going to have another short going on in there. So let's see what's going to happen in there. And we can go to this yen pair, right? This is, what can you say about this, right? So that's it. I don't have more data, we just broke it. So actually I need to go to trading view to look at what's going on in there. So let's take a look at the yen. This one, I think. I think the new zones that I let's take a look at them. My favorite zone, which is going to be a big ask, it's the 150, I think it's 156 or something like that. So let me just try to realize where price is. Okay, we have that line. Okay. So now let's just move price to the left side. I broke it. And here we are, right? Yeah, one of my favorite levels at this point, it will be this supply level. that is still fresh. This high never took it, and anytime I see something like this, especially on the daily, weekly, or monthly, I would be surprised if we don't have a really good reaction from there. Now price is at 148. I don't know if price will ever get to 156, but if this continues to be like that, maybe that's going to be a reality. Yeah, that origin in the pound looks good, but let's see how price is going to, if it's going to get there. I still would like, I think, higher highs on the or price on the pound to go a little bit closer to the high from last week or 2 weeks ago. This dollar yen, so this for sure it will be my ultimate zone, just to take this guy and react from that supply zone. I find this support resistance, that will be my favorite. At this point, I actually mentioned that part. I don't know when I did this, I don't know if it was with you guys, but so the price was reacting from here, right? So this is where in 1998 that high was created. Really beautiful zone without above, just above this compression zone. None of these highs reacted from that level, and apparently it was a good level. After that we had all this compression, so no surprise that price just continued to move higher. Now there's maybe something in there. This can be one of the first levels, somewhere in here, at around 149 something, maybe even around this low in there. So something in there could be also, which is 148.95. maybe. We have some left shoulders in here on the left side, that eventually our price may go and react from the base of this. We have a little bit of support resistance already aligned with this level, so that could be another good zone to react from. I think there's still this week in there, that kind of supply level. This high never took it. In here I'm expecting some reaction. I'm not really expecting the big reversal, but some reaction I could see some happening in there. We have this left shoulder as well, and it's a good zone for me that I want to be paying attention to. Then eventually taking out this one could be another scenario, maybe some reaction in there, and then price can have some reactions. Again, we are looking at daily or weekly charts or monthly charts, so by reactions I mean there's maybe opportunities for intraday setups in there, and then price may just resume to go higher, but maybe there's some good reactions from here. For example, there's maybe a bigger reaction to be expected. From here I'm expecting a strong reaction if by any chance price gets there. There's maybe this level in here as well, that price may go to, which is nice, or something even a little bit above it. So making this high again, if by any chance you want to have a big reversal in here, it would be even nice to see somewhere in there for price to be, let's pretend that this is now in the present, right? For price to actually kind of respect it a little bit until eventually we have that fake out, right? Kind of create a one top or double top in the present, align at this level just for the future, for price to go there. Kind of similar what happened 1 month ago, just before that big drop at 145. So yeah, so that would be interesting. So those are mostly the key levels that I'm looking for on the yen. Nice reaction in here, nice get, I mean maybe a good zone in there. If you look at the weekly, how does it look like on the weekly chart? We have this level in here. It's kind of 151 and 51. Yeah, this 151. This is a weekly one. So above this week, reacting from that level can be interesting. Yeah, that level in there that I mentioned. Price is in here now, maybe reacting from from the base of this level at around 149 that I just mentioned before as well can be interesting for price to have some kind of reaction, right? Yeah, maybe this is what you guys like to call the fair value gap or whatever, until price gets there. So that could be an interesting zone on the yen as well to look for. And okay, this is the monthly. Okay, this is monthly. Yeah, maybe eventually take this week in there. Let's review the monthly. All these left shoulders. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Alright, let's go back to the present. Yeah, those are the key levels that I'm going to be looking for. And let's see what price is going to do when it gets there. We have seen price is just moving upwards, compressing, and not looking back. That's literally what price has been doing. As you can see, anytime there is a little bit of a move, just move up, some spikes down, move up, spikes down, move up. So if you are a trend continuation trader, maybe that's what we should be doing on this pair. It will be to buy almost every single demand that is created, just buy it, every single one of it. Just keep buying every demand, and you're going to be a happy man trading these yen pairs. Yep, demands, that spike, touch it, this one, touch it, this spike, touch it, this one, touch it. You can see, right? All these moves in here, even that one, it was touched already, price went up. I broke below this one, maybe reaching this level. Could be a scenario, maybe you can even create a new high, then yes, go down and then continue to go higher. So let's see what the end is going to do. It's going to be hard to be trading it. I want to see some proper move away, some balls being broken before even considering trading this one, right? And it's and no one knows if Bank of Japan is going to intervene or when it's going to intervene. Euro yen has kind of moved in a similar way than the pound yen. We had broken this high, and we could have separated this one like this, and then maybe the zone underneath it, and price just reacted from the extreme of the level. And because this one actually already broke it, this actually was an engulf to the upside. I think I mentioned that last week, that this one could have been considered as an engulf. And yeah, looking for the extremes to maybe look for the continuation, that could have been a good idea. And this is where we are now on the euro yen. So we had already a little bit of a break to the downside in here. So we have already an engulf down, which is a nice indication. Let's see how price is going to behave in here. I'm curious to see how price is going to behave in there. Bigger picture, and if you also know it, price is reacting from this kind of left shoulder that Quasimodo in there. However, I still see that supply just above it. So let's see if we don't create that extra high. We may move those 80 pips higher, and then to finally turn. So yeah, there's maybe a chance for price to still react somewhere in there, maybe even above this zone, or there's a chance that price will still break out this high and maybe go all the way there to that supply level, and then maybe turn. This demand in here is basically taken with this one. Price going upwards. Eventually we can already take this one and fill this space. Yeah, so let the euro yen continue to show some weakness, show some kind of compression until maybe we have that final turn, and maybe can find a trade to at least fill the space that is somewhere in here available. Yeah, that could be interesting. Aussie. What do we have in here on the Aussie? Did it broke? Yeah, we broke. So Aussie, you have a small engulf to the upside in here. So this is a small engulf in there above this high. We have daily time frame. So we had that initial reaction that I mentioned just below this low. It was okay. Price reacted straight away from the next level and then dropped. And now it's reacting from here. Yeah, I think price is reacting somewhere in there. Yeah, I can do it this thing. It's a bit tricky. This level of support resistance can be interesting. Eventually for price to go there. This could be a good level for price to eventually react from. I'm still not sure if the Aussie has reached its final low. Don't really see anything particular that can do that. Maybe some demand zones where price may react from, and that's it. Eventually even go below this low could be an option as well. And let's see what the Aussie is going to do. Again, with the Aussie, as I mentioned a few times, I'm just playing depending on the price action that I get. Otherwise, I'll not be forcing any big longs at this point. Go in there, price is reacting from somewhere in there. Yeah, it's not the clearest one for me. Yeah, this level could be interesting. Below 0.6, huh? You may go below 0.6 in here. We'll see on the Aussie. It's too early to even look at that. Price has been just moving down. It's managing to hold. Another KM in there. Price is just compressed. I see that one as an engulf. It's a small engulf up, which may be interesting for the future. But for now, I'm not sure if anything in here is going to hold. So expecting new lows on the Aussie, I think that's going to be a little bit natural. We're having this compression yesterday on the way down. Let's see what's going to happen. This one was respecting there. There's maybe some orders in here, but depending on where price is coming from, price may just react a little bit and then break it, and then maybe use this level as a future long. Yeah, as a future move to the upside. That can happen as well. Yeah, this level may not just be a good zone to look for sales, depending how price is approaching. There's no engulf down. Price can literally react a little bit, then break it, maybe react from this support resistance first, and then eventually go there. Yeah, this could be a scenario for the future in terms of how to trade this specific zone in here. Yeah, as I mentioned before, EURUSD is just moving upwards, and we kind of talked about that after the break of this high, there's nothing much holding price in here. How this looks compressed. Maybe there's a small zone in there, a little bit of space between this level and that level, but eventually going all the way back in there could be, and even targeting this high. Maybe to don't be too much. So how this looks compressed. Can you see every single spike in here on the way down? Yep, this one maybe some reaction there. But yeah, going all the way, maybe taking this high, and after that maybe you're finally going to see some reaction. I'll definitely not be surprised if you go all the way until that high. For as much as moves ups and down that the Aussie is going to do, Yeah, not that one. Targeting this level, I think it would be reasonable. And what we are doing as well on the way up is literally taking every single demand. We are already kind of starting to create some kind of compression on the way up as well, which eventually may originate on the turn, and then maybe doing everything until maybe here. There's a spike already in there taken. There's maybe something in here. There's something in here left. Now this is a new demand zone. Let's see what price is going to do. If it's going to go straight away there and go up, or if it's going to pause in the middle, go up, and eventually can go there. Yeah, something in there, something in here. I'm surprised if the Euro-Aussie is going to go all the way there, and if Euro-Aussie is going to go all the way there, maybe Aussie dollar is going to continue to move to the downside. Yeah, so in terms of CAD, dollar CAD in here, yeah, just exactly as I was looking for. I didn't like how those eyes being created, the way that all these eyes were created in here, which actually put me away to look for sales, which I should have tried to. Price just reacted straight away from this demand zone. Price went up, and yes, another situation with the same way that I was looking for more strength on the dollar just before the CPI. It was a little bit similar on the CAD. I was looking for CAD to take these highs, which would mean kind of dollar strength as well for the CPI data, and that kind of what happened. Price just respected this low, and then a big move up. I was not expecting such a big move, to be honest, but it was actually a nice reaction from a zone that I had in there. So we have these lows, this high, sorry, that small engulf that have been mentioned a few times. And if you even take a look at what is going on in there, the next level, the next natural zone is somewhere in here. Below this level is just bearish candles. That could have maybe have some support resistance in there, but it's just bearish candles on the way there until we get to this supply level. It's exactly where price reacted to during the CPI data. So big spike up, literally clean everything in there, and there you go. Now this one, I may see it as an engulf down. CAD. On the CAD, I may see this one as an engulf down. And what I mentioned before in terms of the dollar index, that when we had that low, price retraced and then kind of still respected the low and now is moving up. On the CAD, we are having a little bit different, right? So we moved down, we retraced a little bit, and we managed to actually still create a new low in there. This small detail, it may make me to be interested in looking for sales still inside here, which is something that most likely I'll try to find. Maybe some opportunities to sell somewhere in there. And price is reacting some from here now. Eventually you can take this high. There's maybe something still underneath this high in here, but eventually I would like to see price going a little bit closer and maybe turning. I like the compression that we are creating at this point. I could see price going here, taking these lows and then continue to go higher. I wouldn't be surprised if something like this happens, which you will take the orders from this demand zone and price can eventually go higher. Now take the highs whenever price does that, and eventually going a little bit more in the compression zone, break out that high and then turn. And maybe use that high, that zone around this level for the final turn, and maybe could have that behavior. This target is still fresh. So yesterday actually I was again, it was one of the pairs that I was looking for. I missed the short in here. This is another engulf up, and 100% I should be looking for longs, but I was looking for longs actually a little bit for below, at around this level, and I was not looking for longs in here. So price paused. It still respected this low, which leaves this target still fresh in here, which is actually maybe nice, and that could be a target for this sells. If by any chance we do have that sell opportunity, going all the way back to these lows could be an option, or as I may see this one actually already as an engulfed downside, even targeting something underneath it could be an option. Oh, this looks compressed in here, so maybe targeting something below could be an option on the card. So it's going to be for sure one pair that I'll be paying attention to for this week. It may offer a really good opportunity. If I then said I was looking at dollar yen, the like 137. 137. Is that for a long? Oh my god, where is 137, man? Yeah, we may talk about. Yeah, I love it. Yep, I don't even need to say anything else. I know that it's in here, right? I just know that it's in here. Yeah, 100%. I don't know if it's going to be for a massive move up, but for sure some reaction. And yes, no, I have no idea when price is going to go all the way there again. I think we last week or something like that, we even mentioned about this level, which I still like it, this 143. I could still see price maybe having some kind of reaction. For example, this one in here with the big drop at 145.9. When you had this one, you can see that we have this demand fresh. So even looking at this level or some reaction, 100% sure that I'll be looking for some bounce from here, and this maybe could be the continuation setup on the. What am I doing? On the yen, just below this low. So we already have exactly what I like to see, right? We have a low, we have a small move down that doesn't really touch the next level. So for me, this is already an engulf down on the way up, which is going to be a natural zone eventually, maybe targeted, even though maybe I have something like this as well. But yes, I do like this level, even for the future. So yeah, price didn't touch it. We can see that price never touched it, and I think price can go there. Yep, I do like it. There's maybe something in there as well, that this spike never got there, and then that level, maybe something in there. And yes, I do like that 137, which was, yeah, something in here could be an option. Yeah, and that's it. Price is going up, is moving away. It's breaking levels on the left side, and then it's either respects them or it leaves us leaves those zones behind, right? Oh, okay, maybe now forget about what I mentioned before, because you see, one thing is the way you are looking at it on 1 hour time frame, which looks like it's still fresh, right? And this is the difference when you start looking at different time frames. On this 1 hour, and most likely 4 hour time frame, it looks still a fresh level. Now we go back, we go down to the 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and it may be different. You see that there are a lot of spikes going on in here, but maybe now actually we have this demand zone in there, and maybe this will actually never reacted from there. So yeah, you can start from the higher time frame, try to find out if there's any zone left behind, but all of a sudden you go down and you see that a lot of spikes had reacted already from this level, so from this demand zone, that it looks like it's fresh on 1 hour, and 4 hour not so much on the lower time frame. There's maybe this demand which can still be used. Yeah, maybe something in here that can still be used, which is another situation, right? So you have a fresh level on the higher time frame, you go into the lower time frame, and maybe already see some spikes happening in there. You can see literally what happened when we broke that high. A lot of spikes went on. We have literally this demand zone and a lot of things going on. And now what we have is how did price leave the zone? And in this case, it left the zone by leaving this demand behind without being retested by anything. This low, this spike in here, I'm not really sure if it reacts from there. So now I go back to the same scenario that maybe this is actually a good zone to still look for a trend. If by any chance price goes down, touch this demand and now goes up, maybe that's it. It's taken. It's going to be weaker for the future. It would be even better if none of this in here had happened, and if we literally just leave this demand zone with this low that never touch it. This would be even stronger, right? Because maybe all the orders would have been left behind in here, and they're obviously interested zone to trade it automatically. Now there has been a few touches, a few reactions, but we do still have that money there. So let's see. And this is how you can go deep into your analyzing the levels, right? There's the lazy way to do it, which is to look at a higher time frame, or maybe you can go a little bit into more detail and actually see everything that has been played out in there. Yeah, for example, we have that one. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, good point of looking on. Yeah, I agree, Pedro. And that's how you go into more detail, right? Because sometimes you think that the zone is fresh or whatever, but you actually analyze it a little bit more into detail. Maybe it has already been spiked on the way, which takes the orders from there. Yeah. So yen, we talked about that already, which is good. Where were we before? I don't even know what I was talking about before. You were on dollar CAD, right? Yep, dollar CAD. So you were somewhere in here. It has been a lot of touches in there as well, but I could see. Let's see the 1 hour. Yeah, price is reacting from that level now. That one has been touching there. Yeah, 4 hour, that one is still kind of okay, 1.39 something. So there's this zone in there. There is definitely this zone in there, and we have this left shoulder. Price broke it, price respected it, price touched this one. There's a KM in there, so this KM, I don't know if that was been taken. So there's maybe some kind of zone in there that could still be used. There's this one extreme. It has been touched in there, so this one has been taken. The origin of the zone has been taken. We have this left shoulder, which kind of aligns with that one. Everything else in here, it looks like spiked down, down, down. Maybe the orders weren't taken in there. We have this low in here as well, which may go into that level. That's maybe still fresh in there. And eventually we do have the break of these lows in here, which was created by this one, which was already reacted from that one, which maybe now creates this new supply level in there. Price has been bouncing in between, I don't even know what. Yeah, it's been bouncing in between this level. Okay, that's another one that it was in there, this supply zone. So that's taken already. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so there's maybe something inside there, which can be nice. and something in here. Yeah, okay, that's I can even extend this one for this week, and something in there. 3945, 39. Which is 3945? Yeah, this one, right? I think it's this one. Yep. Yeah, something in here, right? Aligned with this zone. 3945, something in here. Yep, yeah, I do like it as well. So I would like to see price first reacting from there, creating kind of a fake high in there. Again, I mentioned that I like still this demand zone in here, so price can still bounce in there. Take the demands from here, go up, react a little bit, and then maybe goes to this level that we have in there, and maybe then breaks it. So yeah, I do like. Yeah, let's I'll 100% be looking at dollar CAD again this week. 100%. What else? Dollar franc Swiss, right? Bigger picture once again. We finally took these highs in here, this double top. Interesting that price actually reacted from the target that I had mentioned months ago. If you have been following the channel, you saw how this move being predicted in there. And actually it's reacting from a supply that I had in there now. That actually this double top never reacted from. Eventually we can go a little bit higher and we can go somewhere in there, even take out all these highs. Maybe that's where we are heading to now. On the dollar franc Swiss. So with this left shoulder in there as well. That's maybe something that eventually we may go to. Somewhere in there. And from here maybe have a massive reversal. So this has been a few levels that price has liked to react from. Since this 2015 big move to downside. Yeah. As you can see, price likes to trade within these ranges, likes to range a lot around these extremes. So maybe are close to see a really good sell on the dollar franc Swiss. All this compression, you can see price has been kind of taking every demand. Is one of the last ones. Price goes, takes it, almost all this has been compressed. Another move there. So yeah, just continue to go higher a little bit more. Maybe take those highs on the left. And then you are free to turn. Yep, paying attention to start paying attention to this dollar franc Swiss can be a really good idea for price to get closer to this level. Actually, there's maybe still something in here. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen in there. We're going to have this turn in here. What else? Gold has been moving. Gold actually, it has been amazing. The zones that gold reacts from. Again, it reacted from that higher time frame level after the move to the upside, which was a level. The origin was still fresh. That originated out the break from this supply. From this support zone, this important support zone, reacted from there, it moved down, even the zone where it reacted from during the news, beautiful, another supply level, right into the extreme. We have all these highs created in here, we even managed to break some lows before we get there, and then the big spike, move down, and it just continues to keep going down. Is price going to get closer to this level? And that could be an option. I wanted to see this low being broken. Again, that exactly scenario where after the low is created, you kind of have the new low. Price eventually moves away, whatever, and then eventually it takes this level. I just took it. Price is already kind of reacting. It's actually nice that we actually saw a double low being created around this low, because this can maybe reinforce an idea of maybe a deeper retrace up. Yeah, we do have this demand that originated the break of all this. So let's see what gold is going to do next. Yeah, gold likes to respect the extremes, which is quite amazing. It may spend a lot of time sometimes in ranging zones, but the extremes, it really likes to go there fast, touch, and to move away. Even how this setup in here, this approach was quite nice. We are having all this compression, something in there, a twist could be an option. So let's see price reacts from here, and then maybe turns. Yeah, there's a chance that this low in here can still eventually be faked out, and if there's something in here for price to move higher, or we're going to create new lows. So let's see what gold's going to do. But yeah, if you do break that low, I wouldn't be surprised, and then maybe we can go higher. Yeah, basically that's it. Just this Ethereum and Bitcoin, which we had. Oh, this is destroyed. Okay, I'll go to the other side. Yeah, Ethereum and Bitcoin, where are they? It's Ethereum. So this was a really nice sell in there. Again, just following supplies and demands and stuff like that. It's incredible how they respect it. They can again have a lot of moves in between, but there you go. So yeah, supply which may have taken or not. We create a new supply. Which was not respected in here, it was respected in there. We talked about that 2 weeks ago, and now we have a new supply in there. We had a new supply in here where price was reacting on Tuesday. One of the students actually managed to get that short in there, and yeah, next level it will be this level that is still fresh. Price didn't really touch it. It may have touched the base of this, maybe not even that one, but I think it took the size now. Size. Yeah, I think BTC actually is reacting from that supply that was created there. So it just broke this demand zone. So let's see what's next for Ethereum. We finally managed to break a little bit below this ranging market that we have in here. How this move actually, it looks like a little bit similar to the moves back in May. That we had also all this kind of range for like almost a month. And if you actually follow all those supplies again, you see that the one that was fresh was that one. Actually, your price reacted from this highs. Reacted from, I don't know if you took this one or not. I would still like to see Ethereum going a little bit closer to this level before, in case Ethereum wants to go all the way up to the upside. I would rather see Ethereum go first closer to this zone before that happens, instead of turning already from here. I will still prefer Ethereum to go there. Then eventually we have this double low. Maybe there's a chance that price still wants to take this double low before the turn. However, somewhere in there I would prefer to see it instead of reacting from here. It has been what yes, it's my view on Ethereum. It's the level that I would like to see it. If you do break this supply to the upside, if you do break to the upside in here, I'm not sure if there's if there's that many things to hold price, because as I mentioned, price has been kind of taking every single one of them, so all of them is starting to be taken. I don't know if this one is still in there, because this little one already took it, this high in there. yeah, this spike in here may have taken the supply that was in there, so all this looks compressed, with this being the last zone. There is no touch, so we may still have a double, a fake out of these highs, and price can go down. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see. Now we have kind of this one. Let's see how price behaves in there. There's maybe even something created around this level. Yeah, that's Ethereum and Bitcoin. Right, so Bitcoin indeed has already reacted from that supply that Ethereum hasn't. There you go. It's in there. Bitcoin already broke this high. It never broke this high in here. But this could be seen a little bit as an engulf up. I think there's a big data difference in another exchanges. I think this will actually manage to break the wall on the left side and manage to break this wall, but not the wall back in June, right? But yes, in some exchanges I think I see this wall being broken. In this case it was respected. Yeah, so let's see another supply that has been taken in there, maybe something in here now. It can still hold price eventually. If this wall keeps holding, eventually you're going to break the upside, or the opposite, and you're going to finally see a stronger move down. It's been quite interesting to see how Bitcoin has been holding this wall from June, while we see the indices have been creating new lower lows after new lower lows. Bitcoin is managing to stay within this range. So it's a little bit of a separation comparing with the indices. We still see this Bitcoin and Ethereum moving with the indices. Like the CPI data came out, price went down, and then reverse. However, the strength of the moves are quite different, or at least the zones that are being broken are quite different, which is a shift from the previous months. And that's it. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about. It's been almost 2 hours as well. I hope you guys managed to get some value from this. We talked about a few good levels. Last week prediction, it was basically almost all of it occurred as it was planned. How that move on the dollar index, the euros, and so on. So yeah, it was interesting to see. This week is going to be a little bit different. I want to see how price is going to open on Monday, and to see if we do have a new higher high on the dollar index before the major turn to the downside. So that's going to be something that I will be paying attention to. If we do break a little bit above that high that was created into the supply level, it's going to be one of the zones. So yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you, Faden. Thank you, Thiago. Thank you, Trading Box, for chatting with me as well. I appreciate it. Wishing everyone a great weekend and a great week in the markets. Yeah, stay safe out there. Follow your plans. So thank you guys. Enjoy your weekend. See you next time, next Tuesday. Thank you. Obrigado.